Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
The ultimate speedster, showing that speed in front of this home crowd. They loved it.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise. You got to reward him for that one. A big-time monster run.
Now he's flushed out left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On second down, it's Jones. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Corey Littleton in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Shotgun now for Wentz. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
We talked about it prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2 they're going to go looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted? Picked up by Jair Alexander. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try to wipe that one away from the memory.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Throwing is Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. On first down, Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 36, Rodgers looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. They'll run on first down. Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rodgers going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Rodgers will try again on second down. This is caught, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
To throw, it's Wentz. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give to Howard. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Hey, take 26. Go to 50. Hey, you blind over here.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Push him back.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he's out right at the 25. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On 1st down, Rodgers going up top. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a pass dumped off to his running back.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the run, it's Pumphrey. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Running with Howard. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It does allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 20.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
2nd down and goal. Wentz. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
Sunday.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Jump out! Let's get off the field.
49, check 49, check 49.
Check 30. Green again.
Now Rodgers. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Eagles have recovered. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. To throw is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Wentz on the bootleg. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Check. 20. 42's the mark. What's the run?
They begin the drive with Pumphrey. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Here's Wentz to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. On first down, Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Looked like he tried it all there. Tried to use some physicality, right? Tried to use some footwork, some head fakes, but he was covered the entire way. Dogged in every step. That forced the incompletion. No separation at the end of the route.
Open man is Allison, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle.
Over. Back north. Look again.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
26. Joker. You draw quarters. Kill. Bang. 26. Bang. Look again.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Wentz. And that's complete to Cooks. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And now look at him go. The 20, 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And an Eagle 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a 1st down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wentz to throw again. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. This is caught by Jackson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
258. All right. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points,